Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Maggie Mejia. I am a student here on campus. I'm the ASG Diversity Chair, and I'm going to talk to you about how social change begins with the renewing of your mind and strengthening of your faith. Sociologists define social change as changes in human interaction and relationship that transforms cultural and social institutions. That's a mouthful. So basically, it is the change and growth of culture and behavior that is seen over time, which includes communities coming together to build a movement. It is seeing how much our society has changed the past 5 years and how it will continue to change in the next 5 years. For example, the feminist movement, the civil rights movement, the children's rights movement, and the Dream Bold movement. These are only a few examples of social movements that were catalysts for change not only in their local community but in the world. To be part of this wave of change in society, we need to begin to renew our mind and strengthen our faith. To which I say, get creative. Get creative because that is how we will influence social change. We have different abilities, God-given abilities. You know, my roommate paints prophetically, and I don't know how that works, but that is the ability the Lord gave her. Some of you are talented, incredible musicians, that the Lord has blessed you like that. Get creative, because that is how you will work towards change. I got connected with social change when I was in high school through an organization called DIY Girls. DIY Girls, or Do It Yourself Girls, is a nonprofit organization based in LA with a mission to ignite and encourage young girls' interest in STEM, also known as science, technology, engineering, and math. Myself and 11 other girls were given a $10,000 grant to come together and invent a solution to a real-world problem in our community. So we decided to address homelessness. It is through this program that I realized that I had a strong passion for homelessness, for women's rights, for higher education. I remember being a little girl and not understanding why some boys and girls weren't encouraged to go to college. I remember my heart hurting for my classmates when I first learned that some of the families at school were living in tents, living in shelters, and floating from home to home when paying the bills was just too difficult. I realized that I could make a difference. I could use my voice to speak life over the dead that has been spoken to the younger generations. And given the obstacles that we face in my city, in the San Fernando Valley, we had to do what we had been doing our entire lives, overcoming barriers and taking advantage of the resources we've been given. In brainstorming what a group of high school Latinas could do to address homelessness, like I mentioned, we had to get creative because it wasn't money that we had to give. So we invented a solar-powered backpack tent for the homeless. And I want to tell you something important. To work with social change, you need to dream and see through the eyes of God. Are we dreaming and seeing through the eyes of God? We have so many stories in the Bible of many people who dreamt big and bold. Like Joseph. He was known as the dreamer. And yes, his family didn't always want to listen to his dreams. But through the dreams, God will reveal many things to him, through him. Essentially, Joseph's dreams would represent how God would take Joseph from glory to glory and bring hope to the land of Egypt during their 7 years of hunger and starvation. Being part of social change in your community is more than just a dream. It is a reality that God has bestowed on us to follow. And yes, advocating towards change in our communities can be a slow burning road. But at the end, it is not about how sore you are with the walk through the road. It is how you pave the path for others to follow. For social change to happen, we ourselves need to change the way we see things. Matthew 25:35-36 says, "For I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. I was naked and you clothed me. I was sick and you visited me. I was in prison and you came to me." On our walk towards social change, are we seeing people the way that Jesus sees them? Are we helping people the way that our faith leads us to? Because people are not projects to be fixed. They are our partners through this walk of bringing change in the world. Are we walking out in faith? Because that is what social change takes. It is walking on water like Peter did, knowing that Jesus was with him, regardless of the storm surrounding him. It is seeing all the people who are willing to step out of the boat and into the storm to walk on water with Jesus. That is the change that we are beginning to see in the world. And to finish, if there's one thing I want to leave with you today, is to get connected with the movement and build momentum. You know, my passion comes from being told that I can't do it, that I will never be able to make it. But I choose to rewrite that narrative. Every single day, every single morning when I see myself in the mirror, I say, yes, you can. Because when people say you can't, God said, I already did. You see, biblical views impact our perspective because it helps us see Jesus in the situation. Social change starts here, it starts now, and it starts like people like you and me, adults and younger children. Let God renew your mind and strengthen your faith. Listen to this, pay real close attention. Social change by itself is a movement, but social change with God is momentum. Join the Dream Bold movement that LPC to LPU has so beautifully placed here. And will you join me in building momentum? Thank you.